let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Whole story change, no fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah, let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say elected, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. It is Thursday, I believe. I got that right. April 2nd. Hello, everybody. Hey, Italian girl. Hey, Becca. Hey, Jenna. Hey, Mike. How's the dolphin hunting going, Mike? Oh, my goodness. I hope you guys are well today. Doing great. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, Christy, I am so glad you are here today because I yesterday read the Moscow Police Department document number 59, tracking the possession of all the victims' cell phones. And there are some curious things about Kaylee's. And I know you know, because I was looking on your channel for some footage and I found your video that you made about that. Christy has an awesome video showing everything that is in that document I read yesterday. So instead of me doing an overview, I was going to play that video. So I hope that's okay, and drop Christy's link in the chat. Go to her channel. Her videos do not have enough likes, and she has more than just FOIA'd videos. She has videos she's made, and they are awesome. They are usually focused on a certain topic, and I love that. I love to be able to just see information about like a certain issue in this case, so great job. Okay, I have a couple updates. in some cases. So yesterday I showed the great Kit Kat bar heist that happened over in Italy. And after I showed the video that I showed, I was looking up just a little bit about it. I think when I was like verifying if it was true or not, um, I saw people talking about that they were like special edition Kit Kats and possibly having something to do with like Formula One racing. And if you guys aren't familiar, Formula One racing is super popular right now. There's a reality show. I think it's on Netflix. Carlos watches it, so then I end up watching it. And any kind of reality shows, like documentary type things, are interesting to me. So maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. Hey, everyone, I'm on my phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good, Christy. You're good. Okay, so that's the Kit Kat update. Then I believe it was last week? I don't know. I did a show on Dayton Weber, the quadruple amputee cornhole champion that got arrested for murdering his friend in the front seat of his car while he was driving. And apparently, he's being held without bond. He has a defense attorney, and the defense attorney said that he is going to plead self-defense. So let me see. Someone sent me the article about that. Is this it? This is it. Okay. So just a quick update because I'm waiting for the witnesses to talk. Like, they were there, they saw the whole thing. So you kind like I was talking with Tomboy last night, like, how could he fight somebody? Like, can he legitimately like defend himself without a weapon? But he does have like what down to like maybe elbow area. So like he has some limbs. So the last time I covered this case, people were asking, how did they fingerprint him? How did they put handcuffs on? Like, I don't know the handcuff part, but I did read that they arm printed him. So not fingerprints, but they took prints of his like, arms that he does have. Yep. Hey, Soft Touch Productions. Good to see you. All right. So let me just give you some of the updates. So this happened in La Plata, Maryland on March 22nd. Dayton James Weber is 27. An attorney for Dayton Weber that has been charged with murder says the Maryland man acted in self-defense when he shot and killed his friend last month. So my questions are, what were they fighting about? Oh, wait, no, it does say in here. Okay, so we got a little bit of information. I forgot. I read this late last night. All right, so they arrested Weber. Let me read this because it was interesting. So the victim, 27-year-old Bradrick Michael Wells, who was sitting in the front seat of the car, was found dead in a yard in Charlotte Hall, Maryland, according to the sheriff's office. Weber was later located in a hospital in Virginia and taken into custody. He has been charged with first and second-degree murder, as well as assault and firearm charges. He has not yet entered a plea. The prosecutors argued that he was a danger to society and a flight risk. Two people who were in the back seat of the vehicle witnessed the deadly shooting. The sheriff's office said Deputy State's Attorney Karen Piper Mitchell said Wednesday that according to the witnesses, okay, so here's what the witnesses said. A friend of Wells is the victim, allegedly stole a weapon from Weber. So this is over a stolen weapon, and Weber was upset. The two were still friends and shot Wells in anger. He was 100% justified in defending his life from an immediate lethal threat. That's his attorney saying that. Dayton was terrified of being killed. Dayton knew that he had to shoot or be killed. And there's going to be a preliminary hearing on May 6th. Okay, so here's how they found Weber. An officer with the Albemarle County Police Department subsequently located Weber's vehicle at a gas station in Charlottesville, Virginia, authorities said. The suspect was then found at a nearby hospital seeking treatment for an unspecified medical issue and taken into custody. So when I read that, I'm like, his vehicle was found. I always thought his vehicle was going to be found at the hospital. So he did not drive to the hospital, apparently. He left his vehicle at a gas station and what? Walked? Somehow he made it to the hospital. Hitchhiked, Ubered, I don't know. And then they found him at the hospital. And I'm wondering if he was trying to walk or whatever he does. Did he get injuries and then went to the hospital? I don't know. But those are the updates on Dayton Weber. Italian girl. Oh, we have connections to the area. Yeah, Italian girl, like in all seriousness, like saying, like the nubs. I mean, if he didn't have, I know he did have prosthetic legs. So those could have been in the vehicle. I don't know like all of those details. So I'm going to continue following this case because I think it's super interesting. All right. So getting into the Idaho 4 case. This has been like a progressive thought process for me. When I started thinking about like motive, and then I've always thought it was connected to drugs and the drug ring. I don't know. I just always have felt that. In many different directions, okay, along the way. And I'm talking like years along the way. So lately, we heard body cam footage of Lanier, the captain, right? Seemingly saying that there was an informant in the house, okay? And then I did a show on like confidential informants and at universities, or I focused on universities and how that goes, and just continuing down that path. And then I went back to thinking about the crime and if Kaylee's in the living room and the whole thing I explained yesterday about her phone, like curious about her phone. So then yesterday I dug into the chain of custody with all the phones, and they had a hard time extracting them. They went to multiple agencies. So I'm kind of like doing a couple things. Like I'm still on the track about Kaylee's phone. So I'm going to do an update with Christy's video about that. And then I was talking to Dago yesterday, and my thought was I want to focus on each roommate at a time and like their timelines, their information that we know. And after looking at all of that, which one do I think would likely, if the police said on body cam, which it sounds like, so I'm not making this up out of thin air, right? I don't have a tinfoil hat on. I'm listening to body cam, and this is where my thought process is going. So I will just clarify that everything I'm talking about in this video is relying on documents, footage, and then giving my opinions and speculation about that. So, First Amendment rights over here, right? Thanks, Christy. Yeah, everybody coming in, please hit that like button if you would. I greatly appreciate that. And let's get into this. So, my app, this is it. That is not what I want. That is not what I want. 1 second. This one. Okay. Take that down. Hey, the Hollyberry. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a great day. Hi, Jacqueline. Wilson, Grand Communications. Hey, Jeff. I think that's Jeff. Your old boss. Okay, okay. All right. Mike, you were in a backyard. I hope you're okay. All right. So this says the victim's phone extractions. November 16th, 2022, Moscow. So the phones go from Moscow to Coeur d'Alene. The phones are transported to Coeur d'Alene for a forensic brute force attempt for extraction. However, Detective Taylor advises that the phones do not support the brute force PIN code. So Moscow sends all 4 phones to Coeur d'Alene because supposedly they have a special PIN code that could break into any phone. That did not work. All right. Let me make sure this is unmuting me when I pause it. Okay, good. On November 17th, so the next day, Coeur d'Alene's like, didn't work. We're sending the phones back to you. And this is an hour and a half drive that we're seeing on the map. So the phones are transported back to Moscow from Coeur d'Alene. All right. So then the next 2 days, November 18th and 19th, Tyson Barrett calls. So after he gets the phones back, like we tried to break into them with a pin, it didn't work. I'm going to call the parents now and just say, hey, do you know your kids' PIN codes to get into their phones? Xana's family was able to give the correct PIN code that worked. Ethan's family gave a PIN code, that passcode that worked. And Maddie's family gave a passcode that worked. Kaylee's did not work. Write that down as curiosity number 1. All right. So PIN code for Kaylee did not work. Okay, so Maury says on the 3 devices, I was able to unlock Maddie's, Xana's, Ethan's. I performed advanced logical extractions on the devices as MPD. A report for each device will be completed separately. Okay, I didn't know Maury did a advanced logical extraction. Okay. Okay, this was important too. It said that a report for each phone will be completed separately. And I am going to show you phone records released after the Prince Rogers Nelson, rest in peace, after his death investigation was closed, they released documents for Prince. And I have phone records. So I'm going to show you what these should look like what we should be able to get. I'm going to show you that a little bit later. All right. This says, look at the face. Is that the Grinch? On November 20th, Mowry calls Detective Taylor at Coeur d'Alene. Mowry asks for assistance in a full file system extraction of Maddie, Xana, and Ethan's phones. So November 21st, they're going back to Coeur d'Alene. Okay, this is because the first time they were just trying to break into the phones, like get them to open. Then they get them to open back at MPD, three of them. And then they send the three that are open back to Coeur d'Alene and to extract, but that doesn't work. So November 23rd, 2022, Coeur d'Alene to Post Falls. So then they send them to Post Falls, and then they go back to Moscow. So at Post Falls, that is where Neil Uhrig, and he works in the Secret Service Agency. So I was reading that documentation about him. So he has access to like forensic tools, but apparently they didn't work. According to the reports, Neil Uhrig could not do extractions on the phones. So then the phones go back to Moscow again. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Okay. And I talked about this yesterday. This is what started this path for me, along the path. All right. So now we are at November 25th. Moscow decides to send the phones to Walla Walla. Okay. Now, I was under the impression that all 4 phones went. So maybe I misunderstood the document. I thought all 4 phones went. Maybe they just sent the 3 that they were able to break into, because I had a big question yesterday when the phones were finished and they extracted them. And they were sending them back to Moscow. They said there was only 3 phones and a drive, a disk drive. So maybe that's a nothing burger. Maybe Moscow held on to Kaylee's phone the whole time because they couldn't open it. All right. So on November 25th, Mowry takes 3 or 4 phones to Walla Walla, Washington. And Detective Chris, I'm going to call her last name Ruckert. She has special tools. And so I did some digging into what that would be. That would work. Okay. And they did. All right. So then we're at November 28th. The extractions are done. And Chris Ruckert tells Maury, hey, they're done. Hi, Christina. I just wanted to say hello. November 29th, those phones go back to Moscow, and Justin Dean is the one that writes report number 59. And that's where I got the information from. And I read it yesterday, and I have a video that is titled Moscow Police Department Documents 51 through 60. So if you wanted to hear any of that, it's in there. Report number 59 is by Justin Dean, and it explains all of it. Okay. This says U.S. Secret Service recognizes Moscow PD Detective Maury. This is April 3rd, 2024. The U.S. Secret Service, now remember, oh, yep, there's Neil Urig's name. Okay. Formally recognized Moscow Police Department's detective Lawrence Maury for achievement in the field of digital forensics and cybercrime investigation. Detective Maury was honored in person at Monday's City Council meeting by Secret Service Spokane office's resident agent in charge, Greg Liguri, and network intrusion forensic analyst, Neil Urig. Detective Maury attended the National Computer Forensics Institute training program in 2022. In 2023, Detective Maury conducted more digital forensic examinations than any other NCFI graduate in Northern Idaho, Eastern Washington, and Western Montana. Wow. What was going on in 2023? Is that when they were extracting lots of they were digitally examining, they were forensically examining more devices than anywhere else in Northern Idaho, Eastern Washington, or Western Montana in 2023. So we know there's a lot of devices involved in the Idaho 4 case. But however, that's kind of curious because Brian was arrested in December to January 2023, right? Right at the end of the year. Thank you, Christy, for that awesome video. And I just love your picture on there. And you guys, there is her Cash App, I think, logo. I know that she's, always raising money for FOIAs. She does lots of FOIA requests. So support her if you can. We love Christy. All right. So that's the background with the phones. And I looked at Chris Ruckert is a woman that she used to work for the Walla Walla Police Department. I don't know if it's a police department, sheriff's department, law enforcement agency in Walla Walla, Washington. She does not work there anymore. So I was curious because it seemed like Moscow tried, they tried Coeur d'Alene, they tried Post Falls. Maury did something himself with extracting the data off the phones. They have to end up at Walla Walla with Chris Ruckert. So what did she have? What did she have that other places didn't have? So right here. Okay. What is this doing? There we go. This. All right. I hope that you are seeing this. Let me look. Nope. She had a program called Magnet Forensics. Magnet Forensics. And what do? They do advanced solutions for all areas of digital investigations. Okay. So they have all these products that law enforcement can use. To do digital investigations. All right, so let's look at their products here. For public safety, they have Magnet Gray Key, and I think that's what they used to use, but they like updated it and like started using it. Well, it used to be called Gray Key, I believe, but maybe Magnet bought it. Axiom, I know we've heard that word before. Magnet Nexus, Magnet Verify, Magnet Witness. So I don't know a lot of the details about these programs, but that's what they do. So didn't I go to, oh my God, I hope I didn't close out of it. So let me see. I know I looked up Chris Ruckert. Nope. And it led me, I think I clicked. Let me backtrack. I looked up Chris. There it is. Okay. Chris Ruckert was the one who did the work on the phones. And this happens a lot. Like, I know if you're working in one career, like she was working in law enforcement, and you use a product and you get really good at it, the company hires you. So she now works at Magnet Solutions. So then I was like, okay, or Magnet Forensics, sorry. So they were founded in 2010. I was just looking at these programs that they use to get into the phones. And so we haven't seen any information about the phones, right? We haven't seen any information. So what should we see? And I just want to say hello to Jen. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody that's watching. I know we can't always chat. But hi, if you're watching. All right. So I have a released report that I want to show you. I got to make sure. Can I move this? Stop sharing. I'm sharing my document camera, so it's new for me. So I'm trying to figure out how there now. Window. That one. There we go. I did it. Wait, I don't. There we go. Hold on. Give me 1 second. There we go. If I shrink that down. Okay. All right. Oh, no. I have to have that open? I do. All right. Right here. This is Carver County Sheriff's Office. All right. This is released reports for Prince Roger Nelson's his investigation. They used the same company, Magnet Forensics. Remember, this is a long time ago. So you can see all of the evidence that they just released it. They posted it on their website and you were able to access it. So there were evidence photos. And I'm telling you, I know I have it, but I didn't pull it out. They released photos of Prince as they found him on the floor in front of the elevator. Like no redactions. There were no redactions. You could just see him. All their search warrants, all their forensic reports. Look, they've got Axiom here. So let's see what we get when we get a report like this. So we have, these are like text messages, right? So it will say the time. I think that's what that says. Yeah, it says record. So I think that's the time. It's a chat message. They redact the phone number as they should. That's the kind of stuff that should be redacted, is just a phone number. Don't need that. Then let me move some stuff out of the way here. Then we have what is it? I don't know. The rest of them are redacted. It says a filter. Oh, the recipient who received it. I think these are initials. I don't know. It says me. Then we have October 16th, 2015 at 10:41:04 p.m. And it says tears-worthy pain. Here's one up here. Tonight, it is too dangerous to have kids walking on my driveway. So we actually get the messages back and forth, right? We can't really see who it's to. Well, I don't know. It says me. Should we do dinner? All right. So let me see if there's anything, they're not redacting. They're not redacting any of these messages, right? We get to see everything. We get to see everything. Hey, I have an interview in Palo Alto on Friday. Should be done by the late afternoon. Any chance you're free and want to hang? I mean, Prince, you guys. So I have to give a shout out to one of my best friends and moderator, Lori. She is Prince's #1 fan, and she's actually the one that got all of these. She did an investigation on her YouTube channel. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore, which is a huge bummer because, it was amazing. And she would have me on. This was before I was really doing my YouTube show. She kind of got me into it. And Yeah, she's the one that got all of this. So here's another report. What's going on here? Is this look? Why is there? Do I need to move this? Sorry. There we go. Okay. Oh no. Okay. All right. Hopefully, yeah, I can see. What am I doing? I can see on my phone. All right. This is Hawk Analytics. So haven't heard that one in the Idaho 4 case, but look, these are detail records. Is this call detail records? Call detail records, September 30th, 2016. Okay. This is, I believe, Prince's assistant, I think. So, someone pretty high profile, highly connected to him, and we're able to get it. So, yeah, it's a CDR, who it was uploaded by, what date it was uploaded, T-Mobile, cell site list. All right, so you got that. Then we have, okay, here's a nice little chart. Look at this, you guys. These are the top inbound and outbound phone numbers. So let's say we wanted to see maybe Dylan, right? Like looking at, oh, okay, Lori. Oh, okay. 1 second. So, like, if we were thinking about Dylan and just wanting to, like, look at data in different ways, like who were the top most used or communicated with phone numbers during the night, then they would put the phone numbers and then how many calls back and forth or how many text messages back and forth. This is a way to see that information quickly at a glance. I haven't thought about making data charts like this in this case. This could be interesting. Okay, so I was talking about Lori's Prince investigation, and I got to tell you, like, she got so close to I think what really we didn't think he, accidentally died. We thought there was some nefarious business going on in that he was taken out, okay? And I should have talked to you about that before, Lori. So I think that just, out of precaution and all of that we know that can happen in these cases when your investigations get too close to the correct information. She kind of put it on pause. Oh, but then no, I don't think no, I'm sorry, Lori. She didn't take it down. She didn't use it for a long time. So just a warning to all YouTubers out there, don't let your accounts just sit there. Oh, there you go. Lori's answering it. I didn't want to speak out of turn. I didn't want to like I'm nervous about that case, Lori. So there you go. You guys can read. She did take it down first. Okay. Yeah. She had to because there were a little bit of there was some threatening behavior going on for sure with that. So gotta be careful. All right. So this is a call detail record report. What else do we get? Let's look. So we get a date. a time, how long calls lasted, what type, it was voice, ingoing or outgoing, and then names. Look, no redactions, you guys. No redactions. Okay. So Prince was, Prince got a call from this person. Prince called this person. Oh, no, this isn't Prince. This is his assistant. Sorry. This is his assistant's phone. So, the only thing they redacted is the number, the phone number, phone numbers, no names. And again, these are high profile. Look, Warner Brothers, like high profile people, assistant, Phaedra. No redactions. Yeah, these were people that were even like, okay, so this person right here, Kirk Johnson, he was interviewed by police. He was closely looked at in this case because he was spent so much time with Prince, and he's the one who like managed his medication and all that. So even this person, not redacted, not redacted. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions about those? I have something else that I want to show you. Let me 1 second. I got to grab it. It's over here. I got to grab it. Okay. So when we're talking about like the interviews that we're getting, yes, this is the singer Prince. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, just to update those of you that have just joined. Do you have the photos of Prince's actual phone messages? As I just showed somebody's, I don't know. I didn't dig out specifics. I just wanted to show like exactly right. That's the point. Lori's making my point that I'm showing you this. The phone records that I'm showing you right now are not from Idaho 4. They are what we should be getting from the Idaho 4. But since we haven't seen any of them, I wanted to show you what we should expect to receive because I have, through Lori sharing with me, all of the released investigative materials from Carver County in Minnesota from the Prince death investigation. So, and my point is he's such a high profile, famous person, and the only thing they're redacting is phone numbers. We get to read the messages. Even his death scene photo where he's laying in front of the elevator, not redacted. It's not redacted. It's sad. It's horribly sad, but you can see it. The snapshots were taken of the messages by the police before the phone was given to forensics. Okay. So yeah, they probably have like both the forensic downloads. I think I showed the forensic download. So yeah, I don't have the snapshot pictures. So all right. So back to other information. So if like we're getting horrible audio quality interviews, most of them. Um, and here is an example of what we should also be getting. So here is Detective Chris Wagner. She was interviewing Kirk Johnson. Okay. This is a taped statement. So it was also audio recorded, right? The only thing they're redacting is a date of birth. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. They did it at this address. Okay. And here is verbatim, private information redacted. What's your mailing address? They redact his mailing address. What city? Redact the city. Cell phone number. Let's see if he gives answers. Is there any information in his answers that get redacted? Just doing a quick overview of this to show you. See where they get into like an investigative question. If they redact anything. Here's something we put a star next to. So here's some names. A name that he's giving, any other cleaning, like any other people that would come in and out. Yes, here's a name. The detective is saying, let's back up. Oh, you need a health history. He got a health history. He's answered like all his answers. They're not redacted. Here's another name. It's not redacted. You know, she's also a famous singer. This is the person Prince was dating. It's not redacted. Lots of information here, talking about medication that they found. I mean, just like personal things. Like this is information. And when we read the documents or we listen to an interview in the Idaho 4 case, they redact like information that so for some reason we're not allowed to know. So, we are not crazy when we question that. So I always like to back up and verify any kind of speculative statement or thought that I might make. And I think these documents back that up. We shouldn't even have to be, in my opinion, the case is closed when it comes to Brian Kohberger. We shouldn't have to be paying a penny for the documents. The Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, well, actually, everything. I heard someone explain this. It might have been Kathy's Indie Zone. I'm not sure. Moscow Police Department was in charge of the case. So anything Idaho State Police did, anything Pennsylvania did, anything the FBI did, anything the Sheriff's Department did, should all be at the Moscow Police Department evidence lab and in their system. They should be the ones releasing everything. Let's look at what they've released. Do I have it pulled up? I can easily get to it. Let's look at what they've released. Oh, I know I had it on here. We'll just do this. Save time. And then I'm going to come see what you guys are saying. What are we doing? What are you doing? Oh. There we go. I don't want that. Remove. Sorry, I had to stop my projector. Stop my projector. Okay. What has Moscow Police Department released? I know we all know this, but let's just, hey, we're here to witness. Can I get a witness? We've got 314 police officer reports. Lots of statements at the end of the reports say that things will be later submitted, and they haven't posted any of that. Okay, no photos, no no, what do we call this? A transcript, no transcripts of their interviews. I mean, they have everything. Hi, Dago. Hi, Dago. Hi, Critter. Hi, Witchy Was. Coming back to your comments. MPD is loopholing Idaho state law. I think they're loopholing a lot of things. Ooh, that's a good idea, Witchy. Other Idaho case redactions. I don't know. I don't know what their law is, but in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know why they just can't. The case is closed. Other states just release everything with the investigation, maybe not the body. Oh, Lori Vallow case. Hello. Yeah. I know they just passed that new law about showing the victims' bodies. Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them. I would like to read a report that interprets their wounds and injuries in order to add to the investigation. I want to know about the investigation. But yeah, really don't need a law for that. I don't think it's okay. I'm not mad about the law, but yeah. Was Delphi, Idaho, Delphi, Indiana. It's Delphi, Indiana. Delphi is an Indiana case. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, talking about the phone extractions, Kaylee's phone could not get unlocked. They only did like a minimal extraction on it. So it's just curious why her phone was so locked down. Okay. Her family could not provide a passcode to her phone. We looked at Chris Ruckert and her work with magnet. I showed an example of a magnet forensic report that they should have. And so now I want to go back to thinking about why would Kaylee's phone be so hard to get into? We know that she had an online job, okay? And apparently it was at Extreme Networks, right? So I looked up Extreme Networks. So here is their website, and To me, my interpretation of this, I could be wrong. Oh, and I wanted to ask Carlos and I forgot. Some of you might know. So this is IT consultants, but they have programs and they are all about networking, but like networking at your job, right? So some of their clients are school systems. Some of their clients are probably manufacturing companies, hospitals, probably, organizations that, oh, I know what it's called, that use products like Teams. Have you guys heard about Teams? Wait, Teams is through Microsoft. Oh, I can't think of it. There is a company that a corporation can purchase, and I know you can work at it because I looked into it. Like you can get trained on how their program works, and what their program provides is like dashboards, and those dashboards are like for holding data. Like if you're selling products, like tracking your profits and tracking your sales and like all that kind of stuff that you would want in a dashboard. And then there's like communication components, and there's it can make data graphs and all that kind of stuff. Okay. This seems like a competitor to that. This seems similar to that. Extreme Networks to me from what I'm seeing. So let's look. And so what I'm saying is, to work here, all you would have to do is complete, like, I think some online courses, like to learn about the various products that they sell and how to use it, how to answer questions about it, how to troubleshoot, maybe how to sell it. There's different like departments. And trust me, as a former teacher, there's education sites out there like this that I considered doing. And I know that's like how you become an associate. Like that's how you do that. So, all right. So let's look at what it's got on here. So they are independent IT consultants. They're education consultants. They are design engineers, and they have global project support. Wait, is this the thing? You can look at their product catalog. So all products, they have management. So I'm going to look at that first. So I think that's what I was talking about, was just like management. Yeah, so like a platform, a type of a AI program, and a cloud orchestrator, like organizing your data. So they just offer all these different extreme analytics, right? So if you were working there, they would probably train you in one or more of these, and then you would train the buyers, right? Or you would be there for support as the buyers. What else did they have here? Let's look at the going back to their product catalog, and let's go to their wired access, because we tend to think this has something, the Idaho 4 case might have something to do with getting into information in a computer program, in the cloud, something like that, right? So they've got cloud managed switches that simplify deployment and day-to-day operations. This looks like power, like these things are called cell blocks or something like that. So like giving more gigabyte power or something like that. I'm not using the right lingo, I know. So could you imagine if you were the one learning about all this cloud technology? Hmm. Let me see what you're saying. Hey, Skull. Hey, Skull. How are ya? Yeah, I agree, Momo. All right. So that is supposedly the company that Kaylee worked at. Don't just build networks, build a career. So if you work there, they believe their employees are their most important asset. They provide comprehensive and competitive compensation, benefit packages. So that sounds like a good job. Listen to this. Early in career, so if you're just starting there, whether you are a current university student, a recent graduate, or an early in career professional looking to make a positive shift in your career path, Extreme Networks has exciting and diverse opportunities around the globe. Let's watch this. It won't play. Why won't it play? Watch now. Why isn't it playing? I don't know. Interesting. You can do an internship here, executive speaker series, like young, right? They have young. Let's see an overview. Career? Ooh, these tabs aren't working. So what they do is they educate technologists and prepare for the workplace. Extreme Academy offers a range of courses. See, I told you there were courses. You get networking skills, understand network design and integrated security. Advanced topics are data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So those could have been some of the skills that Kaylee had. So, not sure. I'm just looking at resources that we have to possibly explain that. So, if that was her job, it looks like an online job, right? You can do that job from anywhere. And I'm trying to follow Kaylee's timeline and information. Okay. So Dago and I were talking yesterday. I think he was showing Bethany's. He was. I don't know why I said think. He was showing Bethany's interview, one of her interviews. And she said she thought Kaylee was going to stay because she wanted to stay close to them. So stay in Moscow. Okay. One of the things I also pointed out was oh, now I can't remember off the top of my head. But we were talking about had Kaylee really moved out of the house or not before, like at any time, because it appeared her room was still lived in, all of her belongings were still there. I haven't read a document or heard an interview of somebody say, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, or remind me if I'm forgetting this, because sometimes we forget what we used to know. That Kaylee had actually moved out. To me, that is a narrative that has been put out into the world. And we just kind of have always said that. And so I was questioning yesterday, where did that come from? Like, I know that there's family members that have said it, but I'm going to stop going off that information because it's hearsay and not verified. So unless I read it or hear it in a document or an interview, exactly, SRB, exactly. I'm going to say from what I have seen, it doesn't look like Kaylee was moved out ever. So, starting with that, then we get the statement about her moving, right? And so she was supposed to move with, what was her friend's name? Jordan Q. I forget her last name, but we have Jordan Q. So let's listen to what Jordan Q had to say, because this is an interview. So we can get some get some facts from this. I want to go to her because she's actually the person that Kaylee was supposed to move to Texas with. So what does she have to say? She would know, right? She would know. Quesnell, thank you. Oh, hello, Beth. Oh, Beth and Shermy. Hi. Oh, they pivoted on that recently. I'll have to look at that. Yes. So yes, we've heard about the moving to Texas part from family members and people like that. But I take, sorry, police interviews as a little bit more solid support for those statements. So, of course, when we get contradictory statements, this is a contradictory statement. Bethany says, I don't think she was moving anymore. I think she was thinking about staying. This is the girl she was supposed to move to Texas with. So we're going to hear what she says.
So I won't miss anything that you said. So yeah, I spoke this morning with and she was telling me that you were probably like the closest person who spoke with Kaylee often.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I'm currently living in, I graduated from U of I last year, and so I moved back home. But me and Kaylee were planning to move together in June.
Okay.
Yeah, so we spoke frequently. I mean, as much as one does, but it was mostly about moving and our plans and stuff.
Okay. Any information that like she has shared with you? Tell me about. She mentioned at one point that she thought someone was following her or stalking her.
All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to back this up. I got to put the closed caption on. It's not that easy to hear. So let me put the closed caption on. It's not that long. This, her interview is only half of this. So it's about 6 minutes or so, maybe.
She was telling me that you were probably like the closest person who spoke with Kaylee often.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I'm currently living in, I graduated from U of I.
See, do you see what I'm saying? I showed you the Prince records for a reason. I mean, I don't know. Okay, she does. Okay, redacting where this girl lives. Okay, I get it. It's like an address. Okay, give them that one. Redact that.
Last year, and so I moved back home. But me and Kaylee were planning to move together in June.
Okay.
Planning to move together soon. I wish they would have got more specific with this girl because, again, only from what I've heard, listening to people discuss this case, my understanding was Kaylee was supposed to go to Texas after her European like backpacking trip in January, then go to Texas. So in the spring of 2023, she would have moved to Texas. But Jordan was not supposed to go with her in the spring. She wasn't going to go there until what, like summer or either summer or fall of 2023. So Kaylee was going to have like, months of having to find a subleaser possibly, or move in with, was Kaylee the subleaser? I know that it is said that there was a male that she was supposed to move in with until Jordan could meet her there. Now, I need to find all that stuff, like where all that information is. So as I'm working on the Kaylee timeline, these are the things I'm looking for. So if any of you out there have information, want to share information, you can share it in Discord. You can email me. Let me get you the Discord link. Right here. Link is incoming. There you go. Specifics, that's out of the question. Let's see. Beth says, I think they were acting like others were getting it wrong, not acknowledging that they started it. Yeah, screenshots. Yeah, good questions, Beth. Uncensored X Cyclone. Hello, hello. Hey, Lucy, I didn't say hello to you. Who else did I miss? Hi, Amy Conway. I was just talking to my husband today about Costa Rica. Because it's a tax time of the year, right? And I was like, we need to move to Costa Rica. Funny. Jules covered it. Okay. I know, lots of people have covered things. Thank you. All right, let's see what else she says.
Yeah, so we spoke frequently. I mean, as much as one does, but it was mostly about moving and our plans and stuff.
Okay. Any information that like she has shared with you? Was telling me about. She mentioned at one point that she thought someone was following her or stalking her. Did she ever mention that to you?
So no, she didn't ever mention anything recently to me. I mean, I've been hearing the rumors and stuff of just people saying that it was a stalker.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that, I have like a distant memory of her mentioning something, but I can't remember any details of it. Like I have like a weird memory of her like mentioning that something along those lines, but there's like nothing that I can remember to connect it,
Mm-hmm.
And I was up there, and the last time I saw her was the week of October 3rd. And then before that went in to do her birthday.
Okay, so Jordan here saw Kaylee. I think it says October 1st on the screen, but I think she's saying October 3rd, like that weekend. And then back in June, like mid-June. Okay.
June 14th, I think. So once I graduated, I only saw her 2 times, in the June 14th and then the week of October 3rd. And I don't think it was either of those 2 weekends that she said something. I think it was like when I was in school, maybe the end of my senior year. That was like May.
So
All right. So she is saying that that she has a faint memory of back in May of 2022. That's when she graduated. So she's saying, I know it didn't happen when I came to visit Kaylee, so it must have been when I was still in school. I graduated from school in May, so it was either like May, April, March, sometime back in the spring of 2022. She thinks Kaylee might have said something about someone following her or, the stalker questions, right? So I just think that's important for how far back it goes. So something just trying to catch all this information to make note of, right?
Last year.
Yeah, but like I said, like I don't know if this is like I can't remember any details, so I don't know if that was like happened or if it was just like people are saying all these things and I'm like grieving and maybe making it up. I just really don't know.
Right. Okay.
So,
Yeah, that totally makes sense. So, was there any information that she shared with you? Anything concerning that she felt, or did she have any issues with anybody?
no, that's the thing. Like she hasn't. Me and her were like with FaceTime. We talked mostly about like moving and stuff, but she didn't mention anything. And I don't like. There was no one that like didn't like her or like anything like that. You know, like I can't think of any person that like didn't like her or would have it out for her. You know.
What about did she ever share with you any, like potential interests in anybody, male or female, or anyone who was like hanging out with her or wanted to get to know her or anything like that?
No, she had her longtime boyfriend, and then when they broke up and I talked to her in October.
I wish that she would have. I mean, this detective went there with the purpose of finding out about this stalker theory, right? So that was her focus. But I wish she would have picked up what Jordan was saying about moving. She said it a lot. Like she mentioned it a lot. I wish the detective, when Jordan was saying, whenever we talked about moving, I wish she would have, dug into that a little bit. Like, oh, where were you moving to? Oh, when were you guys planning on moving? Just to get a little bit more information about that, right? You want to get all the background and information about your victims, right? What were your victims up to at the time of the murders? Like, what were their plans? Things like that. Yeah, this Jordan, I feel was completely being, to me, she sounds like she was being completely honest. Like I think I have a faint memory of her saying this, but I've also been talking to a lot of people because we're grieving and they're sharing, they could be like implanting this information in me. So I'm not sure. Yeah, to me, that sounds real. Yeah, I know. Again, that's why I'm not going to pay attention to that stuff anymore because I think too much information has turned into narratives because of that. And I want to stick solely to documents and interviews and stuff like that as much as possible. Which he says the language of the article I found is crucial. So the language said had moved out. Okay. It could be as simple as they used the wrong verb tense, right? Like planning to move out, had moved out. I mean, also, I know her family was not able to provide the correct passcode for her phone to get into her phone. So, oh, thank you so much, Witchy. I will pull that up after this.
She said that she hasn't been talking to anyone, like interest in anyone or anything. That's what she told me when I was with her in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in
Anyone, like interest in anyone or anything. That's what she told me when I was with her in October.
Okay.
Okay, so now this question was Kaylee seeing anybody, hanging out with anybody, dating anybody, anything like that. And Jordan saw her in October. And as of October, unless Kaylee didn't tell her, she was not hanging out with anybody or seeing anybody. So it's going to be curious because do we already have the interview with the guy who was like the president of a sorority or sorority fraternity and supposedly was seeing Kaylee? Do we have that interview already, or is that something that should be coming out if someone ever gets those frat interviews? So that's another thing, like trying to track down Kaylee's timeline. Okay. Oops. Oh, also, by the way, I think there are enough people watching and I would greatly appreciate it. I think we could get at least 100 likes. We're almost there. We're like at 73, 74, 131 people watching. I appreciate all of you. Hello, hello. If you would take a moment and hit that like button, I appreciate it.
So in October, when you last talked to her, to your knowledge, she wasn't dating anybody.
She wasn't dating anyone. She wasn't like sleeping with anyone. She wasn't seeing anyone. In October, it was like the week of October 1st. And yeah, she told me that she was not seeing anyone. So
Okay, and then what do you know about in their relationship and friendship?
they were like, they loved each other, and it was like they started dating when they were young.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they broke up is Kaylee just felt like, they've been dating for so long, she was just almost too comfortable that there was no ill feelings there. It was just like she wanted to grow a little bit and she find herself on her own.
Okay.
There was no bad beef between her and He's a great guy. And Kaylee thought the same.
Okay. And so did you, when you were here in October, like, did you ever spend time with at all?
When I was in October, they were broken up, and so no, I didn't see.
See right there, a name is redacted. A name is redacted. And we just looked at the Prince transcripts of interviews like this, and names of high profile people are not redacted.
I hung out with Kaylee, and Kaylee told me about just like, I asked her about her, if they smoked or anything, and she said that he brought her coffee, and she just kind of was like, we can't keep doing this thing where it's like, they were just comfortable with each other, and they were just in a relationship, and it was hard to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, from what I heard, they cut ties in October. Like, when I was there in October, they had cut ties. They weren't talking any longer.
So when you said that he was bringing her coffee and that she was like, we can't do this anymore, was he like still trying to hold on to stuff, or?
No, at first, like, he just like loved her. I think it was just hard for him. And so he was like, bring her coffee, just being sweet. And they had a dog that they shared
Mm-hmm.
during their relationship. And he had the dog, and he would see Murphy, the dog. But so it wasn't like that. She was just kind of, like, it's too hard for us to remain friends just because I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing back there.
Okay. And did you know any of her other roommates?
Not really. I knew Maddie, just from, because her and Kaylee were best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of knew Shanna, but I didn't know the other two roommates.
So I think that's a little telling right there. Okay. So Jordan is a good friend of Kaylee. And she knows Maddie is Kaylee's best friend, right? So I love friendships like that when you're like, like when you have a group of friends, like who are the closest and who's known each other and grew up together and all that stuff. So Jordan here is like, Maddie was Kaylee's best friend. I was Kaylee's friend. Okay. And then she kind of knows Xana. Okay. So to me, that is saying that like, Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, would hang out together because Kaylee's friend Jordan kind of knew Xana. She did not know Bethany or Dylan, which is kind of odd if Bethany is Maddie's little. So maybe when they were at the house, so it's just, to me, it's like showing like this separation a little bit, right? So. All right. This is almost done. This part's almost done.
And when you came in October, I mean, were there a ton of people that would hang out at that house like all the time?
Oh, I'm glad I looked down at my phone. Did I see some memberships? There we go. Sleuther 75. Oh my goodness. 10 memberships. 10 more green peeps. Let me see who got those. I'm glad I saw that. Oh my goodness. Uncensored X Cyclone, D476, Keitha 563, Tanel Ray, Calbella, Baby Blue, the Kiss person, Rhiannon Murphy, Jessica Jarvis, Wolf Angel, Witchy was awesome. Welcome to the Unique Peeps, everybody. And thank you, Sleuther. You are the best. So generous.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you again. Uh-oh. Oh, so I always forget when my daughter has a guest over. I forget. And then I hear noise in my house and I have a moment of, oh my God, what am I hearing? And then I'm like, oh yeah, someone's in the house. Congratulations, new members. All right, let's finish this Jordan interview and then we'll talk.
So I was staying at the house right next to it. Like on King Road, like in the backyard.
Yeah.
Where you can see the house. I was staying at that house, and so she came over to that house a lot. I went over there once, and it was like during when we were all getting ready for the KJ, and there was this girl getting.
Oh, I thought this part was interesting too. You guys, can you help me figure out what house this is? Is she talking about 1112 or is she talking about Maddie Moy's house? So the investigator asked her when you would go visit Kaylee, where you would stay, I believe is what she
Staying
asked.
at the house.
Let me see. Let me back it up and get the question. When you came in October, were there a ton of people?
Would hang out at that house like all the time.
So I was staying at the.
Okay. When you would come and visit, were there a ton of people staying at that house or coming to that house all the time? And she's like, oh, she's saying I didn't stay there. That's interesting. They have a spare bedroom. Don't they have a spare bedroom? Your friend, let's think about this. Your friend that you're going to visit, she seems like that's the reason, has a spare bedroom, but you're not staying there. Let's see if she explains it.
A house right next to it.
Right next to it. So as soon as I heard right next to it, I thought 1112.
Like on King Road, like
On King Road. So not Walenta, on King Road.
in the backyard.
In the backyard. Now that is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where you can see their house.
Where you can see their house. I mean, I think this is describing like 4 different houses, really.
I was thinking of that house, and so she came over to that house a lot. I went over there.
So Kaylee came over to that house a lot. What do you guys think?
Once, and it was like during when we were all getting ready for game day.
I went over there once and we were all getting ready for game day, which is what they were doing on November 12th. So I think this is important. It was a game day, November 12th.
There's girls getting ready. It was just a lot of people living there, but it wasn't a usual amount. And then when I was there, they didn't have like these parties.
Okay. So it's common for girls to get together, and girls do that. Friends do that. All get together in a bedroom and, get ready together. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, the occupants of 1112, right? Yes, there's a house. So there's 1112. There's like that house right next to 1112, which I don't know. The people there seemed kind of like out of the mix to me. That's the house where someone was showing, maybe Outcast. Somebody was showing, I think it was Outcast, video of a parent coming and backing into that parking lot, and the girl was coming out with laundry or like baskets, like taking off. So I don't think it's that house, but then there's a couple houses across the street from Jack D. It could be one of those. And one of the girls from 1112 was walking the morning of November 13th. She's like, I want to go hang out with my friends. And she went in that direction. 118 house is a mystery. Okay. Let's see. I know. Well, maybe like yeah, right. Just the canvassing. When they were like going door to door and talking about the SD card in the video, like they talked to the girls then, but yeah, they should have been brought into the station and interviewed. At least there's not we haven't seen, I don't think, written reports about that. So, does anybody There's lots of paths. I was looking at that from also a few lives ago, I was showing the inside of Jack D's house. Oh, it's the episode I did about male C DNA. There's a bedroom in there that has like a window with a free shot, clear shot right to 1122 King Road. And there's lots of paths. Yes. It's edited, or I mean, it's redacted, tomboy, like another stupid thing that's redacted. But I think, I don't know, king or queen. Let me see. Let's see. Okay.
Like on King Road, like in the
So this is saying Team Road. So did AI hear the E like Queen? To me, it sounded like King, but it could have been Queen. So what difference does that make? So Queen Road would be more up by their house instead of down on, like, to me, King Road is the straight dead end road, right? Where Jack D's house is, and then Queen goes up by Queen Road Apartments, right? We need a role playing game. But she said, okay, so Tomboy, if she said Queen Road, then she said it's in the backyard. So then maybe it is the Moy's house, but their address is Walenta. Their address is like something 26 Walenta. She did say backyard, but I mean, it's a big backyard, and that backyard goes up to the houses across the street from Jack D's house. So I'm not going to beat this into the ground, but just something to think about. So her friend isn't staying at Kaylee's house. She's not staying at 1122. She's staying somewhere else.
backyard
Yeah.
where you can see their house. I was staying at that house, and so she came over to that house a lot. I went over there once.
And Kaylee would go over to that house a lot. So just trying to track, Kaylee's associations, maybe other people that we need information from, stuff like that.
And it was like during when we were all getting ready for the game day, and there was just girls getting ready. It was just a lot of people living there, but it wasn't a usual amount. And then when I was there, they didn't have like parties or anything, so I only went there that one time.
Oh, okay.
She only went to Kaylee's house one time, and they didn't have parties or anything. Hold on.
Dude, side eye. What is this?
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
They didn't have parties? What? I know, Meanie, like 180. Like I was feeling a certain way, and I just like did a 180. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
And I just went to Kaylee's room.
Okay.
I think she said when she would go over there, she would just go to Kaylee's room.
So nothing that you knew about Maddie or Zaina?
No, I really don't know. I didn't know Maddie that well, and I didn't know Zana that well. I was really, really close with Kaylee, like my senior year. She lived like the next apartment down, and we had all of the same classes together and stuff. But yeah, I didn't know Maddie very well, and Zana very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, are you still in contact with
All right, now it's going to switch over to she's going to talk to another roommate. Or not another roommate, another person. Literally. Yeah. All right, that is interesting. I was thinking of something else that I had to share. Let me see, and I forgot. It was All right. I'm going to end with one more thing that. So yeah, Meanie. So Jordan said I didn't know Maddie very well, didn't know Xana very well. So it sounds like, and maybe this is why people said like, apparently Kaylee and Maddie weren't hanging out a lot. Or if they were, like, I don't know. Sometimes you have friends that you don't mix. Like you might have friends that, oh, I do, sorority stuff with Jordan because we're in the same sorority. I'm making that up. I don't know if that's true. And Maddie and I are not in the same sorority. So I go shopping with Maddie. I go home with Maddie. Sometimes you do different things with different friends. So it could be like that. Maddie and Madeline, the same person. I mean, I would think so. I don't know. I don't know a lot about her. This is like the game Guess Who? I am not trying to play a game. I am trying to listen to interviews, pick out important information. So trying to focus on Kaylee right now. What can we specifically find out about her timeline? Thinking about if there would have been someone in that house that was a confidential informant, let's collect all the evidence we can and use that to make a determination, like who would logically, in our opinion, speculating, could have been. That's what I'm doing. But I'm going to end with this report that I know. Let me see. Yep. I can't remember if we went over this. I have a feeling it was on Dago's show, and it was a while ago, months ago, probably. We were looking at some documents, and I thought there was an image. I asked on in Dago's mods Discord this morning if anybody had the image. What do I want? This one? Yeah. For this article. So this is an Idaho State Police document, or its report. What report number is this? 72. Starts on page 220. Hi, Cynthia Rose. And this says, where'd it go? There it is. Nope. There it is. On December 6, 2022, at approximately 1400 hours, ISP Detective Brady Walker, along with ISP Detective Matthew Heinley, conducted an interview with blank, blank, blank. Nevada driver's license. And Bethany's from Nevada, right? And then someone else with an Idaho driver's license at the Moscow Police Department. The interview was regarding a letter the blank sorority had received. Okay. So another thing I have started that I'm tying into all of this is that you have two sororities at the university who are like, one was absolutely put on like a probationary type status, even at their national sorority level. And that was Pi Beta Phi, I believe. And then Alpha Phi was on like some kind of like a temporary probation, but just at the university level. So it wasn't it, but you can't find any information about that. So, so this sorority received, now I think it's redacted, ridiculous. It's probably Phi Beta Pi Beta Phi, if I'm saying that wrong. The envelope was addressed to the blank house via the blank. So it's addressed to Pi Beta Phi, attention, so and so. I don't know. The return information on the envelope was, and then there's a big long redaction, and had a drawing after blank. So again, we should only be redacting phone numbers and addresses. The envelope contained several playing cards with John F. Kennedy's likeness. So in my opinion, there's like, why is someone... Oh, let's see. We don't know who yet. Okay, so I think this is from a jail. The envelope contained several playing cards with John F. Kennedy's likeness, stamps, a cutout bracelet, so like a paper bracelet, several handmade drawings on a paper, a Sports Illustrated picture of Kate Upton in a bikini affixed to a card, and a note. The note read, "I feel the hurt you must be going through. I've lost too many too. Love and peace will come, but till then, just know ... So is there more and they're not telling us what it says? And then the note was signed blank blank. I think when Dago and I were going over this, I was speculating that this sounds like it came from somebody in jail, because if you're in jail or prison, you get playing cards, you get stamps, you wouldn't have jewelry. So making like a cutout paper piece of jewelry, drawings. They do get magazines, and making a homemade card with like the cutting out a bikini picture. Oh my gosh, you guys. Nobody at that sorority house knew who the sender was, nor was anyone expecting a letter of that nature. Detective Heinley photographed the envelope and its contents. The letter was taken and immediately submitted to Moscow Police Department evidence for DNA testing. Blank and blank said the mail had been sorted and was given to them by blank blank, who is a blank at University of Idaho. Like, the letter was taken and immediately submitted to Moscow Police Department for DNA testing. Blank and blank said the mail had been sorted and was given to them by... Okay, so someone at their sorority house like gets the mail, sorts it, then someone like hands it out. So maybe it's like the president, or who knows, the secretary, something like that. I contacted blank dash blank, who told me he received it from the blank. Now we got a he in the picture. So are they talking about somebody at the so maybe they're tracking this all the way back at the post office? Who sorted the mail at the post office? So they sorted it at the post office. And it was given to the mail carrier at the University of Idaho. I contacted the mail carrier, who told me he received it from the blank on December 5th. I don't know. I'm just trying to fill in the blanks. After conferring with ISP Sergeant Mike Van Leuven, I recontacted blank and blank to collect DNA samples for rule out purposes, since they opened and handled the letter. So these are some sorority girls. At 15:47 hours, blank and blank returned. Wow. Right? Who would open the letters that are not female at a sorority? Oh my God. Let me see what you guys are saying. This is weird. Excessive redactions. Yeah, no one expects a letter of that nature. And why is a weirdo sending something like that to a sorority house? They color with M&Ms. Oh my gosh, that is great. I think so too. I think so too. All right. Yeah, they DNA tested the letter, but not the blood on the wall. And I know. Well, actually, no. I don't think they DNA tested the letter. They said they took buccal swabs from the people who opened the letter. Let me go back and read that again. I also think they went to the jail. Opened and handled the letter. I don't know. There's a reason why I'm connecting this to a jail. I gotta look more into this. But I'm connecting it to the sororities. Okay. Kaylee was in a sorority. I don't think this was her sorority though. I think it would be Maddie and Bethany's sorority. So I don't know. I was also going to, I think I'm going to save it for tomorrow, but again, I'm trying to put, document all these timeline things. If I'm going to investigate and do some digging, I might as well take you along for the journey with me. I love getting your input in the chat, bouncing ideas off of you, off of each other. You guys point me in the right direction often. Oh, someone said they put an article in Discord. Let me see what that is before we get off, before we clock out for today. Let me see. Oh my God. Skull Mackay, but I don't even think that was mine. Let me see. What is going on? Why can't I? Something's going on. I can't find my main chat. Why can't I find it? Let me start over. Sorry. Someone said that they put something in the Discord. It was an article, so I want to make sure that I if it ties in with this right now, I want to read it. Did I do something wrong? Uh-oh. All right. I don't know if my Discord's working right now. Uh-oh. So, a witchy or a meanie, or I can't remember who said they put an article in Discord for me, but I will check that. I'm just having technical difficulties right now. I'm going to read a few of your comments and then I'm going to clock out for today. That letter actually sounds like a confession. Might be. Yes. I know it's confusing now. I'm trying to just focus on Kaylee and identify as much. The little things are making it seem clouded and confusing, but I think once we get them all down, then we can synthesize them into maybe some bigger ideas or hypothesize a little bit more or whatever. Oh, I have Bloom's book on audio, so I could go see. What he says about the letter. Exactly. What were they experiencing that they were compelled to disassociate with the sororities? Yes. Something happened that I think is do people in jail have JFK playing cards, or were they some other type of JFK card and I misread it? I mean, I think prisons probably get whatever playing cards they can get their hands on. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it makes you think about the jailhouse informant. Again, I'm not 100% sure about a jailhouse. To me, that's just what those things seemed like. So that's just my speculation. So certainly something I might need to update the Discord. Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you, Witchy. Thank you for telling me that. Yes, about Kaylee moving out part. Yes, we will definitely come back to that for sure. Oh, here you go. A look-alike, maybe. Kate Upton is a buxom blonde. Who looks like that? It wasn't, I don't think that was Kaylee's sorority, though. Kaylee was an Alpha Phi, right? Now we need to look up JFK playing cards. No way. You guys. JFK died in November, on November 22nd, 1122. Now I need, what date does this say they got these? What date? December 6th? What date did they get these? No, they were interviewed. They did the interview on December 6th. When did they get this letter? December 5th. Somebody got it on December 5th, but I don't know who. I need to like read this like 10 times and think about what it's actually saying. I'm looking for dates here. Reported date is December 6th. I don't know. There's no more information in there that I can see. You thought jailhouse as well. Okay. This is crazy. Like, oh my goodness. Oh. Out for money. That's weird. Looking them up as we speak. Dago, I think you and I talked about it on your show. But for some reason, I thought we had a picture, but maybe we were just talking about the description of what was in the envelope so much that I had a picture in my head of what I thought I was seeing. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking, Sleuther. I'm like, did they get this? Did the sororities get this as like, I'm taking it as like a warning? Something like that. But we have to see if it came before November. You're just us and pixie dust. Hello. Your local prisons don't allow playing cards because it promotes gambling. Yeah, they could make their own playing cards and they get confiscated. Wow. I know the story of Cynthia Rose. I love that story, right? The little girl that like, or the woman. I know the story. Oh, so you love Prince. I wonder if you did you ever watch any of the YouTube channels that dug into the investigation of his death? You guys are freaking me out right now. JFK, John Jack. No, I think he was yeah, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, but his nickname was Jack. That's how it goes. Yep. 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 Who's Fiddlesticks? I know I remember you guys talking about that. Let me know who Fiddlesticks is. Oh my God, if you think of it too, we've got King Road, Queen Road, Jacks. What if those were the playing cards? We're just having fun now, like not fun, but try to, a mystery, trying to figure this out. King Road, King, Queen, Jacks. What else? Interesting. Oh, the Queen Road. Oh, yeah. When they are doing the body cam, when they're doing the because I said who is Fiddlesticks, and which he was says the Queen Road Apartments, cat, long live King Fiddlesticks. So the police officers were going door to door, doing their canvassing, and someone said something about Fiddlesticks. Yeah, I remember that. I don't think it was Enon. I think it was a girl or something. No, it was a guy, but I don't think it was Enon. Yeah. Oh, wow, you guys. I think I'm going to have to go back and listen to this myself so I make sure I have all the information that I wanted written down. I'm going one victim or survivor at a time with everything we have released so far. Listening and reading documents with you to if we can collect everything we know about each person and look at that and then say, okay, maybe who was the target? Do we think anyone was a confidential informant? What are some things we can look into more? I don't know. That's the approach I'm taking right now. I also shared with you true documents released after the closed Prince investigation. No FOIA is needed. They just released all of their work on their website, free for anybody to download, and what those looked like. One of them was from the same company that was used to extract the data from Kaylee, Maddie, and Xana's, not Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan's phones, and it's magnet forensics. So we looked at that, and that's where I'm going to stop for today. Anyone remember the report about someone in the house reporting a SA in 2020? There's a report about that. Sounds slightly familiar, Lucy. I don't know. Hi, Social Glow. Hey, everybody. You knew Fiddlesticks had an important role to play. Let me know if you find that, Lucy. All right. Thank you for watching and discussing this with me. I appreciate all of you. Hey, Too Fast for Fleas. It's so good to see you. I never saw where X or MM had won scholarships to pay for college, room and board, utilities, food, books, etc. They probably just took out loans. You know, probably just took out loans like everybody else. I don't know. Thanks, Dago. Don't start talking politics in here, tomboy. Although I did see some bombshells drop about her husband. Did you guys see that? Oh my goodness. I appreciate all of you. I would love it if everybody could hit that thumbs up button on your way out. If you're watching on replay, it also helps the channel if you like interact, leaving comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. Set it to all so you get notified when I go live. Oh, that was Gnome. Okay. Thanks, Meanie. I knew it was somebody. I knew it was somebody. I'm going to keep digging into more about what we discovered today, and we will continue on. I do have to say, though, I've got one more part of the Long Island serial killer case that I'm probably going to want to cover it tomorrow because I've already got it ready to go. And there's supposed to be a change of plea hearing next week for Rex Heuermann. I have not talked about Rex Heuermann yet with the Long Island serial killer case. If you think you're not interested in that case, oh, you are missing out. You are missing out. I did 2 parts on the backstory with a lot of details that I think there were a lot of people that didn't know a lot of those details. There's major corruption, just crazy events. Go check those out if you'd like to get caught up. And tomorrow we will do the final part that I wanted to share about the Long Island serial killer case. And then that's going to give me some time to do a little bit more digging with Kaylee and her timeline and her device and things like that. So Meanie asked the question, is he pleading guilty? They are expecting that. I haven't seen any updates in the past couple days. So they are suspecting that yes, he's going to plead guilty. So we will see. He can change his mind at any time, and the judge doesn't have to accept it. And I'm wondering in this case if they are going to really make him allocute to stuff. This is in New York, federal court, I believe. So I think they're really gonna, I would expect they're gonna put some expectations on him. You can plead guilty, but you have to tell us these things. So yeah, Meanie, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Sorry I was like late today, but I had a hold up. So I should be back at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And make sure that you're looking for Dago at the True Crime Cafe with Dago to go live today. He's usually around this time going live. So we will all go over there. Go over to Christy Nevada's channel. That's the video. I shared her video today. Give her love. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Clocking out. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Practically unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and wild to be a husband and a wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.